Hey, you guys, let's get this started. I am confirming I'm on Team Revive. This happens too many times, I know, and I just get nervous. Okay, I am on Team Revive. 1 second here. Well, happy Monday. Happy first day of our Plexus 101 training, getting back to the basics. Let me unplug my charger here a second. Still getting situated. We just had dinner. So I shimmied down here, and as I came down, I thought, oh my mercy, I could have stuff in my teeth again. Because a couple times ago when I came on live, I went back to the family afterwards, and Eliana was like, Mom, you got a hunkin' black thing in your tooth. So if you see anything, just holler. Thankfully, you can't smell that I smell like tacos, but let's get into this. I am super excited about this. We've had several hundred new families join us over the past several weeks. And so it's just important to our hearts to steward that well and to help you get off on the right foot and to feel like you have firm footing, like a firm foundation underneath you as you get going in this new journey. Some of you might still be like, what did I just join? I know it was a good deal. I love a good sale. I think I'm going to try a pink drink, but like, what is this and what am I a part of? And so we want to answer that. I'm clear. We want to answer that for you this week. And rather than do one night of a like hour-long new ambassador training and bringing you into everything, we're kind of going to break it into bite-sized pieces. Monday through Friday. Each evening will be a different person. We have a couple of guest speakers coming on, and we're going to break it up topic by topic. So I'm excited to kick this off with you and kind of bring us back to who we are, what's our vision, what's our mission, what's our culture, and how do we get here. If I didn't say so already, my name is Krista Deary. I'm a Sapphire Ambassador with Plexus. I've been with Plexus for 5 years. I live in Minneapolis with my husband, Chad. He's a Ruby Ambassador with Plexus, and we have 8 children, ages 18 down to 2, 4 boys, 4 girls. Within all of the craziness, other little tidbits about us, we're both home full-time because of Plexus. We have a special needs son. He's 8 years old, and so we walk through a lot in caregiving for him, but he's a huge part of our story and a huge part of who we are. We homeschool a bunch of our kids. Judabug goes to school. I don't know, a little bit of everything. We're busy, but we love it, and we wouldn't trade it for the world. I wanted to tell you really quick off the top here some of the incentives and exciting things happening for the month of May, because I know I haven't put a post together quite yet on this page that kind of recaps everything and puts it into bullet points for you. So let's just go over these really quick for this month, because there's lots of exciting things. We thought last month was amazing, and this month is even better. So here we go. First off, right here on Team Revive, we're doing prizes like we did last month. Last month we did these amazing water bottles. Are they just not the cutest thing in the whole world? I love it. We did the water bottles. What else did we do? The blenders. So fun. We wanted to bring that back for this month. So everyone who helps 3 families get in on the sale and become ambassadors of the welcome pack, we are giving away sunglasses or a makeup brush kit. If you're a dude, though, we will give you an Amazon gift card. I promise you don't have to take a makeup brush kit or sunnies. And then for everyone who helps 6 families, we are sending a summer tote, and you can choose which one. So that's one of the fun things happening. You got yours today too, Leanna? They're so cute, right? I love it. So the next thing, along with what we're doing on Team Revive, is what Plexus is doing. And when you enroll 3, they're sending you extra money. Why? Because they're aware of where we're at as a country. They're aware of families that have lost jobs and or have been unable to work. And so in that, stirred by their heart, they're making ways to get more money into your hands. Isn't that cool? So when you enroll 3, you're not getting your usual bonuses. You're getting an additional $100 on top of that, which will come to you very quickly. Mine came within 24 hours. When you help 6 families, you get an additional $250 on top of all of that and your other bonuses. That one as well came within about 24 hours. So precious, and it speaks to the heartbeat of our company, which I'm going to get into in just a little bit. Beyond that, the welcome packs are still all on sale. Use code HEALTHYHAPPY. They're all 10% off, and they're already crazy discounted, so this is insane. And enrollment is $9.95 again instead of $39.95. And you get like a free 7 days of Slim, right? I mean, I just can't get over how many things. They just continue to give us more. You know, just when you think like, man, this is like the best it can get. And then they're like, actually, here's one more thing. Here's another present for you. What else? Okay. Real quick too, so dig around a little bit in your back office when you log into your account, and there's kind of two parts of your back office. There's the dashboard that kind of goes over your points and your volume and a lot that is geared towards you as you grow your team. There's trainings back there. There's more than you could ever even access. There's so much available at your fingertips. The other part of it is your account, and this is where you'll do your shopping. This is where you can set up your subscription. You can edit your address book, your payment information. All of that is under your account. There's two different ways that you can be ordering as an ambassador, okay? You can just log in and place manual orders whenever you want to, easy peasy, or you can set up your subscription. There's definitely some benefits to the subscription beyond just the convenience factor. It's super handy dandy to have a subscription. I do that with Amazon, like all my toilet paper, diapers, paper towels, wipes, they all come via subscription, but my Plexus order does too. So there is the convenience factor, but beyond that, there's like what, 3 additional benefits. There's our Perk Program. Every time your subscription runs with 100 PV or more, you're earning perk credits that you can redeem for free products. So I've already gotten a couple of collagens, a free bag of Slim, and we're geared up to get another free product here soon. So I'll take it. I'll take free any day. This month, the product of the month is Active. So if you have a bag of Active or a combo of Active or any sort of Active in your subscription, you're going to get 50 additional perk credits. So make sure it's set to 100 PV or higher. Get the extra credits, might as well. And we all love Active and the new one that's coming out soon. Oh my goodness. Beyond that, if your subscription is at 130 PV, you get free shipping. If it's at 150 PV or your account in general is at 150 PV of personal volume, you get a hemp oil and you would pay for shipping. I think it's $14.95 to get that in your hands. I love our hemp oil, and so I qualify for that every month. I love it so much. So I just set my subscription to 150 PV or higher, so I get it all. I already have Active in there, so extra perk credits. I got the free shipping, the free hemp oil, and I'm getting the credits for free products, so thebomb.com. Okay, so that kind of covers some of the things happening in May so far. Oh, it's so fun. Okay, I want to kind of go into the history of our company. I'm not going to get too specific. The history of our company and the history of our team, and here's why I'm doing this. I really believe you can learn a lot about the vision of a team or a company, the mission of a team or a company, by learning their story. A lot of who you are is because of how you got there. And so I wanted to unpack that just a little bit. Plexus Worldwide is based out in Arizona. I was actually just there a couple of months ago. It's so fun touring corporate, and if you are ever in that area, you should definitely stop by. It's okay to do that, to pop in and ask for a tour. Maybe call in advance though. But they are a debt-free company. Just earlier today, I posted an announcement on the info page. Where did we rank this year? Number 23 on Direct Selling News, annual list of top revenue-generating direct selling companies in the world. And my goodness, if you know anything about this industry and you look at that list, we're up there with companies that have been around for decades and decades and decades. So just further evidence that we're walking out the desire of our founders and co-founders, which was to have a legacy company, not a like here today, gone tomorrow, but a legacy company. And we're seeing that, a company that helps families generate income that is willable to their children and their children's children, and literally changing the trajectory of your life and of your family's destiny and future. It really appeals to those that think outside the box, that have big dreams that maybe go beyond what you always see in your everyday life, right? And we're seeing that. I love hearing about the early days of Plexus and when they first tried Slim. At that time, they were a breast health company. They had 2 products, a breast check kit, we still have that today, and a breast cream that is now our body cream. It's been, I don't know if they reformulated it actually, but I love our body cream with the activated charcoal and the way it draws toxins and nourishes the skin. It's amazing. And they use solar energy, right? Isn't that wild? It's really crazy cool. But I love hearing the story of when they were just this little itty bitty company. No one really knew about them. And just this core tribe of people. And they were trying out Plexus Slim. They didn't really know what they had their hands on. In fact, the packets were plain white. I mean, talk about some trusting ambassadors back then that were willing to try this stuff out. But after they finished this initial trial of what was geared up, I think, kind of to be a weight loss drink, I'm guessing. I mean, it is called Slim after all. They came back with radical testimonies of how much better they were feeling and better energy and better sleep and less cravings, and their blood pressure and their cholesterol numbers were changing, and like literally making such progress. And you can hear it as they retell the story of how there was this unction inside them that people need what we have. People need this, and so we need to talk about it. Don't you know that's a pretty precious heartbeat of a company? This wasn't founded on how do we become millionaires, or this wasn't founded on how do we have like the biggest, bestest company ever. I don't know. I've never really started companies, so I don't really know what usually people do, but I just think it's really cool, and it appeals to my heart that the foundation was built on how do we do this in a way that blesses people. I know for our president and CEO, their goal is to do network marketing the way it could be done, the way it should be done, but rarely is. To be set apart within our industry, that we do this in a way that benefits the people on the field, that this isn't about how to grow Plexus. This is about how do we empower so many families to duplicate and to have a residual income coming into their homes, whether it's a secondary income or their primary income. But how do we empower many, many people to do that whenever they join? You know, it's not just for the first 5 that join and got in at the very beginning when it was hot. I mean, no, we're seeing people join. I've seen people join in the last year who have surpassed me. And they're at the top of the company just recently joining. It's so amazing, and that is how it should be. Where was I even going with all this, though? Anyways, I just think it's a cool heartbeat and a cool foundation to who we are, that so much of the premise of this is we have something that will help people. We term ourselves the health and happiness company. We really do deliver that to people. We deliver products that really do change your health, and we deliver an opportunity that completely shifts the way that you can live. And it certainly has for Chad and I. Now, Chad and I we got married we're coming up on 20 years next year, but we met in 2000, so 20 years ago, right before New Year's of 2000. And when I met Chad, I had 2 dreams, and that was it, to be a wife and a mom. And beyond that, I didn't even know how to dream. That was a foreign concept to me. But when I met Chad, he was a dreamer. In fact, he's the one that taught me how to dream, and now I can't imagine doing life any different. And I stumbled upon this as we were moving and unpacking boxes and everything. And I wanted to show it to you. There's not time to read all of Chad's dreams, but he wrote this in his early 20s, a list of all of his dreams. What number does it go to? 74 here. Oh, it keeps going. 84 dreams. Okay. This is a famous notepad in our family. I'm so thankful that I found it. I might as well just frame this thing. But I remember being shocked, that he even had the audacity and the confidence and the courage to even dream that stuff. It just was so beyond me. But it's because of network marketing I learned how to dream. I met several people back in the day who lived differently, where the husband and the wife, they were home full-time with their family, where they decided how they wanted to live. They didn't base their vacations on when they could get off work. They based when they worked on when they weren't on vacation. They chose what they wanted in their life, and they built a life around their priorities. They built a life around their values. They built their lives around what God called them to do. And some people, their dream and their calling is a career path. It is a 9-to-5. And so there's nothing wrong with that. But then there's others that might feel a little bit out of the box. I know for my husband, he's never had a dream to work for somebody else, but he has had a dream to be a dad. And ever since we had Isaac, my second born son, he's now 16 years old, Chad has found some way or other to work from home. That is his value. He wants to be here with his family. He loves to be an entrepreneur, and he loves to be with his his family. But he didn't love being in the office all day long and often in the evenings and sometimes on the weekends. So we loved the flexibility that yes, he was home full time and he was available to his family, but it doesn't mean that we saw him all day, every day. So we continued to dream. But as with anybody, I'm going to plug in my phone here, we hit some roadblocks. We had these big dreams, kind of like Joseph busting out and telling all of his brothers that he had these dreams. They were all going to bow down to him. Our dreams weren't like that, but we had these big dreams and we busted out talking about them, and we just felt so confident that we were going to achieve them by our mid-20s, I'm sure, you know. But there was a much different journey that was going to be ahead of us, and we had to walk through some stuff. We walked through trials. Who has walked through trials? Just throw up a hands up in the comments. But we walked through trials. We walked through financial trials when the market crashed in 2008, trials that should have really destroyed our marriage, but they did not. Praise the Lord. We came out stronger on the other end, but we walked through it all, through foreclosures, through living with friends. We should have declared bankruptcy. We lost several properties. We lost Chad's income, food stamps, coupon cutting, jumping in the dumpsters to get the coupons, you know, just all the things. And then as we were climbing out of that is when we had my son Judah. He has cerebral palsy and epilepsy. He's blind and has hydrocephalus as well. So there's a lot that goes into his care. He has completely changed our lives in every way, but there is a lot that goes into his care, and there's a lot that went into our healing. Our hearts needed as much healing as his physical body. It took us a while to realize that, but it affected all of us. And in caregiving for him and pouring everything I had into him, I lost myself quite a bit. I already had, I feel, to an extent, just simply as a mom, but I lost myself in caring for Judah, and I neglected my health as well. And after the birth of my 7th son, he was a bit of a surprise after what we had walked through with Judah. My health spiraled, and that's inevitably what led me to Plexus. I was battling postpartum depression and PTSD flashbacks, anxiety, and panic attacks. I was having trouble falling asleep at night and having trouble getting up in the morning. And really in such a state of darkness. And my friend Heather had reached out to me, and even from the very beginning of my introduction to Plexus, it was set apart. Her message was unlike anything else I had received. I had received plenty of messages from people who were in business for themselves. It never bothered me. It never made me mad. It never turned me off. I love this industry and I love supporting my friends. So it was always just fine, but I got several messages, and often they were pretty similar, wanting me to check out their business. Heather's stood out. And here's why. I could tell that she cared about me. I could tell she was concerned. I had briefly mentioned PTSD. At that time, I was very private about my journey, very, very private about my journey. But I had just been branching out a little bit, telling more of Judah's story, and in that I mentioned the PTSD. Heather reached out to me, moved by compassion, and with a confidence that she had something that would help me. And she encouraged me to pray about trying Plexus. It stood out. That message was different. The heartbeat was felt. I turned her down. I told her I wasn't interested. I made assumptions. I didn't even click on the link. I thought it had red dye number 40 in it and had aspartame in it. Like, those were my 2 big assumptions. And she's like, no, you're good. It doesn't have that. It's completely natural. It's plant-based, which I should have known because she made kombucha and she got her milk at the farm. Like, she was so all natural and crunchy, you know, so I should have known better. But I blew her off. And how often does that happen, where the very thing we need most is right in front of us and we don't recognize it? We're there praying every single day for answers, and it's literally right there. You guys, the home that we just moved into a couple weeks ago was on the market the whole 8 months that we were crying out and praying and uncomfortable, trying to figure out what was the Lord doing with our life. Guess what? This house was on the market the whole time. And guess who looked at it back in September? This girl, on my lowest day with Jesus in this journey, when I was driving around like, Jesus, where are we going to live? Why'd you ask us to move out of that house if you didn't have another house for us? I literally came and looked at this house and I turned it down. I turned it down. The very thing that God was answering our prayers with, I didn't recognize it at first. It wouldn't be until many months later that I recognized this is where God was bringing us. And it was actually quite exciting. It just was unfamiliar to me. It was a new town, a new area, quite a ways further than we expected to be. And the longer I've been in this home the last 2 weeks, the more I've realized, Lord, this is perfect. You knew this is perfect. This is exactly what we needed. The same was true of Plexus. So maybe I'm just a slow learner, but it was right in front of me. But yet I went another 4 months of my health getting worse, our situation getting worse, more tears, more prayers, to the point of saying, Lord, I don't even like you. I don't trust you. I don't believe in you anymore. And I don't want to be here anymore. That was my breaking point. That was the point where everything began to turn. Often you can see that happen, that it's darkest right before the dawn. It was true for us, and it has many times over, that it got the hardest right before the breakthrough. And that breaking point of leaving my family and wanting to take my life and feeling just like there was no purpose to my existence here is what shifted not just my health, but our marriage, our family, our ability to dream again, and the provision for us. It shifted our lifestyle. It shifted our faith, our spiritual journey. Everything has shifted. Because of Plexus? Yes, to an extent. Because of the way God is using it. He receives the glory, but he chooses, like the God of the universe chooses to use this in quite a powerful way. And it's pretty precious. And so I got on those products that fall. I started with a bag of Slim. Quickly went up to 2 a day. I still drink 2 a day, and I highly recommend it. Mid-morning at like 10 and mid-afternoon at 2. That is my routine with Slim, and I love it that way. And then come January 7th, I had been on the products 2 months. People were starting to notice that Krista seemed different. They didn't know I changed anything. It was hiding in the cupboard. No one was going to dare know that I took Slim. But people noticed a change. My husband noticed a change. My kids noticed I didn't cry every day. I didn't nap every day. I was present. I was having fun with them. I was hopping on the bicycle and racing them. I mean, I was completely changing right before their eyes. And so January 7th, a day I'll never forget, I made my very first post on Facebook. I did not know about being an ambassador. I did not know the compensation plan. I did not know all the ingredients in Slim. In fact, I'll fill you in on a secret. I still don't know all of the ingredients of Slim. I didn't study all the things and figure out all the details and then step into it. The foundation was in my heart. It was a move of my heart. This what if question. What if somebody needs this? Similar to the very first ambassadors years ago, whenever Plexus even started. I don't even remember the year. If you remember, throw it in the comments. But it was similar to them. Side note, you guys, if I am stalling, it's my internet connection, so I can always mess with that. And go to my cell phone, because I can tell I'm slow on this end. Anyways, so just like those ambassadors 10 years ago, who are like, people need this, that was the same thing inside of me. If it did this much for me, if it's helping me, like even if all it did was help my energy, even if all it did was help my digestion, even if all it did was help me sleep better, then it was a responsibility at this point to tell other people about it. And so I want to encourage you just simply in that. You'll never be pressured on this page or on this team to build a business. I truly believe in this being birthed from your heart. It's just so important that that foundation is pure and strong. But I do want to challenge you a little bit. Oh, I'm good? Okay, thanks, Brooke. I do want to challenge you a little bit. If it's helping you at all, it's worth it to at least let people know about it. You may not want a business, you may not want to go silver, you may not want an income back, but there might be people in your sphere of influence that I'll never meet ever in my whole existence. And they might be crying out tonight. They might be there leaving their family the way I was October of 2014. And so it's a responsibility, in my personal opinion. I know that's bold, but it literally has done that much for me and hundreds and now thousands of others. You have a responsibility to at least tell them there's something out there that'll help them with their anxiety, with their fibromyalgia, with that IBS, that acid reflux. My daughter's eczema went from being so horrible on her legs and her feet and bleeding and cracked, and we had tried so many things, and it was one product, ProBio 5, healed it completely, and it's never returned in 5 years. So I feel a responsibility to tell people about that. You know what I mean? So anyways, you may not feel called or led or compelled towards a network marketing opportunity, but you're a part of a company that doesn't just sell earrings or necklaces or purses or kitchen stuff, and there's nothing wrong with any of those companies. I'm sure they're all fantastic. The industry itself is fantastic, but we don't just simply offer things. We offer a whole new way of life. We offer something that literally does change the quality of their life. And so it's precious to me that what we do is we share. We share what's working for us and what's working for others. And in so doing, we just happen to get paid. Like that just blows me away every single month. So that is the foundation of this team. That is how Team Revive was born. And back then we called ourselves the Deary Diamond Team. And it's amazing to me that here we are this month going diamond. So crazy. But a couple years ago is when we shifted and we became Team Revive. We were praying about a new name. We asked for all y'all's input as well. And I want to read this that we wrote down that encompasses who Team Revive is. It's a place where we see health revived to depleted bodies, hope restored to broken hearts, and dreams renewed that were once forgotten. What we saw take place was my health was restored. And then I began to share with others. I discovered a purpose and a passion that took me beyond my circumstances, my pain, my trauma, my junk, whatever I just saw right in front of me. And it took my eyes off myself and looking into the homes and the windows and the doors and the screens, little Facebook screens, and into the lives of others and what they needed and having a tool that would actually help them. It gave me purpose again. And as I began to share and people were then having their own health testimonies, and all of a sudden we're making income 6 months in, an income that matched my husband's income. Well, at that point, we began to dream again. We began to ask the what if questions again. We began to think about those dreams that we had 20 years ago, that we had long forgotten and moved on from, choosing that we will be content, and it kind of bordered on complacent. And that is what continues to compel me to share, is that people need this for their health. But beyond that, seeing people come into this and seeing them begin to think and dream and have conversations amongst themselves or with their spouse or with their children, with their families, and start asking those what if questions of like, oh my goodness, what if we could be debt free? Oh my goodness, what if we could take that vacation? Oh my goodness, what if we could buy a home again? What if we could go to Disney World? You know, what I remember for me, the first goal was, could I just go to Chick-fil-A and let my kids order whatever they wanted? Could I go down the cereal aisle and if they picked out a cereal, I could buy it regardless of whether it was on sale or I had a coupon? Could I buy my kids clothes when they needed them rather than telling them you're going to have to believe God and then look with wonder and curiosity for anyone handing out hand-me-downs? And what if could provide for your church? Yeah. It is the most beautiful thing. Seeing the Lord stir hearts. You know, because this isn't a period for your life. It isn't like if you step into this, this is like what you do and who you are. It's a vehicle to what you're going to do. Like, what is it an adoption that's in your heart, but it costs a lot of money? Could this be the vehicle that funds that? Is it a missions trip that's in your heart? Could this be the vehicle that funds that? Do you have a dream of starting a business, a brick and mortar business, but the upfront initial investment is hundreds of thousands? It's possible that this $39.95 opportunity is what will fund that and provide the freedom in your time to go after it without fear of risk of what that might do for your family, because you'll just know that income's coming in with or without you. It's going to continue coming in. You know, for many in our nation, to have a residual income, it means that you have to be like an actor and create a movie that's like a blockbuster hit, and then you get paid on that, you know, every time someone bought that movie, or that maybe you're a musician and you put out this amazing record. I don't know what they're called, but what are they called, I guess? Not CDs anymore even. Anyways, you put out an amazing something, and then you get paid on it every time someone buys it. But for the average Joe Schmo here, I didn't really have a way as a mom of, at that time, 7 children, to go create a legacy for my family. building it literally in the nooks and crannies of my life. Sitting at the table, homeschooling my children as they work on their paragraph or filling out their math pages. I'm just checking in with people. How are they doing on their products? Oh my goodness, and now we're getting paid. I mean, literally, it's how it was beginning. There's something bigger than what you see here. There's something bigger than a pink drink and then a $9.95 sale and a discounted welcome pack. And so I just want to encourage you to stick with it and explore. Don't be like me who saw this house 8 months ago and then cried and complained to Jesus wondering where my house was when it was right in front of me. You know, there might be some bumps in the road. There might be some challenges. There might be some times that you're going to have to change up your regimen a little bit. Maybe one slim works better for you than the other. Maybe you do better on 3 Probio 5 while this person does 1 Probio 5. You know, you're going to have to tweak things in your regimen for your health, and you're going to have to tweak things as you go about the business side too. And you're going to learn really quickly, this isn't just about selling something to your neighbors. It's about becoming the very best person that you can be, because in doing that, people will lean in and they're going to want to hear from you. They're going to wonder what you're doing, and they're going to want to be a part of it. Our job is not to convince people to buy what we have. You're not trying to sell them on something. You are simply letting them into who you are. You guys, that is how this was built. And that is how Team Revive culture came to be. We are a team that values people over points, that values impact over sales, where when I'm talking to somebody, my goal is not sale. My goal is to make a connection with a real person, because I might have something for them. And it might just be encouragement. It might be friendship. It might have something for me. So the goal isn't the sale. The goal is the person. The goal is relationship. The goal is to be a blessing to my world. If I do that and I keep my heart right and I'm unoffendable and I just keep on going and I love people well, the rest takes care of itself. And I'm living proof. And so I don't even know where I was going with all this, because I so have gone off of my notes. But it's true to Team Revive, because we just flow from our hearts, don't we, you guys? It's who we are. It is who we are. Oh, that's where I was going. I knew from within that I needed to start sharing about Plexus more than just that one time. And I knew that if I would just be faithful to tell my story, to let people into who I was, to practice vulnerability, to keep looking for what else can I just expose to the world about myself, just tell my story, not just my Plexus story, but who is Krista Deary? Who is the Deary family? What are we about? What makes us tick? What have we walked through? You know, people, they connect with you through actually your trials. That's often what causes people to lean in a little bit. That's where they find that connection, where they find themselves in you, and their story is in your story, right? But it wasn't that I did like the perfect Plexus post and went to Pinterest to find crazy cool graphics. It was simply in sharing what was working for me. It was sharing what God was doing in my life. It was sharing what was changing for our family. It was sharing that we got cereal, whatever cereal we wanted. It was sharing that we got to go to Chick-fil-A. It was sharing that I got the kids new shoes. It was sharing those victories all along the way, big or small. Do not ever allow the lie to come into your mind that says your story is not good enough. You do not need a suicide story or an attempted suicide story or whatever to build this. I promise, because seriously, more people will relate to the need for energy and not napping every day than my story, okay? It is not about the best story at all. That's a lie that people do listen to, and I'm going to nip it tonight. Do not even go there. Because people need to know that they can sleep better, that they don't need the Pepto-Bismol, is that what it's called? And Tums. That they don't need the Advil for their headaches every day. That they need to know that there is a way to be healthy and that they were made to be healthy. If you look at the Garden of Eden or you look at heaven, that's God's will. That's what he intended in the beginning, was to be healthy and strong and live out your purpose. And God knows we live in a fallen world. Our crops are fallen with it, you know? Like, we're not getting the nutrition that we need. He knows that. But he's created some amazing things and some amazing plants, and we just happen to have an amazing company that combines them all together, and it's just amazing, and it's doing amazing things for our health to fill in the gaps of what we can't do simply. Okay? He is using this in a fascinating way. You don't need a big story. You just need to be you. You need to let people in to you so that they want to join you and so that they trust you. And some of you, you're going to start sharing and people are going to just come out of the woodwork right away. Some of you are going to start sharing and it's going to be crickets. That's okay. Consistency will build your credibility. They're going to be watching. You'll be surprised how many people are watching you and they're just wondering, is this a fly-by-night thing? Is this a here today, gone tomorrow? Is she just excited today, but by next week she'll forget about it? The more you are consistent in sharing your whole life, not just Plexus, just everything about you, the more credibility you're going to find. And over time, people are just going to be rolling in of like, okay, yeah, I need to try this. I need to be a part of this. I have people messaging me right now beyond just their health, but like, Krista, I've lost my job. Krista, my income was cut in half. What can I do? How do I jump into this? And so I know that's true for so many that are here today. You're like, okay, like I'm here for the health, but Krista, I'm also here for a paycheck, right? And you're at the right place at the right time. It's so true. Yes, they're watching, even when they're quiet. They're not even liking on on your posts yet. They're just watching. They're just watching. Okay, what else was I gonna say before I just went off on my heart? Let's see. We can wrap it up pretty quick, actually, because there's still 4 more days of this, and I feel like I just kind of preached at you instead of really teaching you anything. That's okay, right? I want to encourage you to be curious. Okay, so on this Team Revive page, look around. There's a pinned post with more information than you can devour in a night. Use the search bar and look up keywords. Be curious. Literally, I just kind of jumped into it and started Googling, started looking into things, looking on the team pages, going to YouTube and watching the Diamond documentaries and looking at trainings by Sonia Dudley. Oh my goodness, just changed everything for me. So be curious. Thanks, Brooke. Go to the info page too. There's so many testimonies and so much product information. Be curious and look around. Go to your back office and look around. Let me just highlight a few pages that are available to you. There's also several teams represented within Team Revive, so it's possible you were added to more than one team page. Jump into them. The culture and the people here are amazing, and you'll be so thankful to be a part of this community. It's just precious. But Team Revive is a page for ambassadors, whether they're wholesale ambassadors or they're jumping into the business. That's for anyone who has signed up that way as an ambassador, okay? And you're welcome to add them to the page. That's okay too, okay? The info page, that's for anybody. So your mom, your sister, your best friend, your neighbor, they're curious about what you're doing. Maybe you've mentioned it to them. Often I'll just say, hey, I sent you an invitation to the info page. Here's the link to it. Feel free to join that group and to look around, use the search bar, type in pregnancy, type in breastfeeding, type in constipation, type in anxiety or blood sugar, diabetes, and see what you find. And usually I'll tag them on a couple of testimonies too. Okay, so that page is for you to use. If you're really wanting to jump into more and more business information, go onto the Momentum Makers page. And I think it's even on our pinned post on this page. You can find the link to it or just reach out to your sponsor and we can get you added there. Plexus Worldwide has a Facebook page, as well as the Plexus New Ambassador Academy. I think that's what it's called. Did I even write it down? I don't think I wrote it down. I think it's called the New Ambassador Academy. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But there's so much valuable information there as well. Ask questions. Never be afraid to reach out to anyone in your upline and ask a bazillion questions. I kept my sponsor so busy in the beginning. Every time someone had a question for me, I just opened up a 3-way conversation with Heather so I could learn with my friend. I was like, I don't know what this stuff is, but here, let's ask Heather. And I'd open up a 3-way conversation. You can do that. It's so easy. You can literally earn while you learn. So don't hesitate and feel like you have to know everything before you take that step. You know, I learned that lesson again just in painting, actually. I was so nervous because I don't know how to paint and I hadn't done it in years, not since Josiah was a baby 18 years ago. And sometimes like my perfectionism can lead to procrastination. Has that ever happened for you? And so I found myself like hesitating. Once I was like, oh, and I got better and better and faster and just more confident. The same will be true for you. Expect that there's going to be bumps along the way. You might make mistakes, but actually you can never say the wrong things to the right people. And you can't say enough of the right things to the wrong people. So just trust the Lord in this journey. Be willing to learn as you go, and just be willing to take it step by step and see what God has in store for you here, right? It's a beautiful journey. So here's what you can expect this week, because I think we'll kind of end it here and wrap it up. Every night this week we'll have another topic and another speaker. So tomorrow evening I have the honor of our guest speaker being Diamond Ambassador Jennifer Leith. I should put her Diamond documentary down here in the comments later. She is very near and dear to my heart. I remember seeing her Diamond documentary and having that moment of realizing if she could do this, I could do this too, which is exactly what I desire for this team to be able to say about Krista Deary, of like, whoa, if she could do it, we can do it, right? But she has poured into this team, she's poured into me, and she's just set a beautiful example of walking in integrity, of having fun, building an amazing culture with her team. She just does it right. And she's going to hop on tomorrow and share about our products and how to take our products and what to expect. That's important, right? It's so important for yourself and as you're helping others too. So you do not want to miss that. Even if you can't catch it live, that's okay. The video will remain on this page. All of them will, okay? So you can use this bar and look up Plexus 101. You'll be able to find all of these. But thank you again for being a part of this tonight. Thank you for being a part of Team Revive. And yeah. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm super excited for this week. We'll talk to you guys soon.